We are live with another Terra Mystica Tuesday League game. So far, I've come in fourth twice, so it looks like I'm probably going to be eliminated from contention for first, but it doesn't mean that we can't try to perform our best that we can on every single game. It looks like this game we are on the Fire and Ice map. And do we have landscapes on? I'm a little harried right now, so I'm not sure who's the home game person for this one. So, yep, looks like landscapes are on. Okay, no extra scoring, no special other factions. Cool. Okay, so Eljaz is picking the first seat. He has yet to make a decision on what he wants. We have dwellings at the beginning, and at the end we have a mid-game round 4 towns. There are 2 spades on the cult. There's a coin event late, and the pass tiles are not very point-rich. Fire and Ice is not a great map for for heavy shipping strats unless you are red. Red is the only faction that really wants to ship heavily early. We get Orin tossed in first. It is not a great game for cult rewards, but there are these 2 stacked air rewards, including the round 2 big buildings. So that could be interesting for Orin. Orin are probably not going to get to Dwelling Rush in round 1, but they could buy a priest for their first action and try to do something. I don't know. We said that both of the ship tiles are in the game, as I mentioned. I said that, and the second round event is a big building event. I think that Chaos Magicians should have some nice play here with the second round big buildings and with both ship tiles in the game on this map. So now we got Nando playing. Nando is in this league with a lower elo because they won Division 3 or 4 last season and were promoted into this league. So that's and I mean, hey, they came in 3rd last time, which is, better than you would necessarily expect given their ranking. So, it's a good sign for this league that, you can hang with a high caliber player and get good games. Don't know how this color wheel is going to look yet after picking only second. It's Darklings, so it's going to be a relatively friendly color wheel no matter what. It can't be as the maximum ugliness here. I think Engineers or Dwarves would would be truly hideous. I don't know if Fire X wants that, or if he's just going to pick Cultists or something. Cultists would make it 3 cult factions, which would be kind of interesting. I think that round 2 big buildings and round 6 dwellings are both huge for Darklings. And I think that this is kind of a rare map for Darklings where they actually like seeing this sort of this is kind of a rare map where Darklings really like to ship, I actually think. Because it's actually pretty hard for Darklings to start in good spots that let them dig and still expand anywhere kind of useful. Down here, it's actually pretty difficult for Darklings to dig, especially if yellow's in the game or something. Given the color matchup so far, yeah, Darklings don't particularly want to start in the south in this arrangement, I think. E3 is usually very common, especially given that red and green are both in the game. this is probably going to be a good spot for Leech. You try to make like a round 2 Sanctuary here, but in round 1, you're just going to try to get the Priest or the Spade. Dig through here, grab. It's Halflings. Okay, I think Chaos Magicians are kind of a clear number 1 here, in my opinion. Chaos Magicians should be getting either Temp Ship or Priest, and those are both very good here. Orin are going to take this guy, and then I would think that Orin just start here and here. The only faction that really wants, like, so I'm looking at Darklings and Halflings, and both of these guys want their, and actually Chaos too, right? They all want their stronghold if they're going to place their landscape. And but the stronghold is not necessarily a great building for any of these factions. And if you look down here, there's no big building tile in the game. Not to mention there's not even like many workers in the game beyond this one event. So I actually think that it's going to be a game where Orin are going to have an advantage in terms of competing for network if they're able to build their economy quickly. If they're able to get the shipping and spades that they need, and like they don't lose all their hexes, then they're gonna have a pretty great time trying to fight for network at least. It's not a particularly coin tight game. There's not coins on the cults except late, but you do have this, like, both of the high coin tiles in the game. Halflings are very awkward here, I think. You like to start C3 as Halflings, especially with green in the game, but black might be on D5 to start the game, and then you just, this isn't a town then. Like, you have to fight this very awkward town if you want that to be a starting town. You do have this town. You can either dig D7 for a sanctuary town. I think that Orin are pretty unlikely to dig this guy, or you can go for this bridge town, which I really like. But your second town as Halflings is very iffy. And I think that the starting spots on Fire and Ice are always pretty tricky. And like, who's going to dig where? Like, are Halflings going to be on C3? That's like a big question here, I think. In terms of Darklings valuation depends heavily on like this C3 hex, because Chaos is going to be here. Darklings are going to have these 2 hexes, or they'll have D6 if they want, and their Sanctuary will be on E3. If Halflings aren't on C3, then Darklings are just incredibly good. They town through here, and then they're just off to the races. Like, getting this center town is incredibly strong as Darklings, but if I'm Halflings, I might just start here, and then your dreams are like greatly stymied. Halflings could also start H4 though. Like, if Halflings are like D8, H4, H4 is a better spot for a town for Halflings. And because like Chaos is going to come here, they'll probably dig this hex at some point, and then you can try to like town through here. You'll have a neighbor on H5, you can town like this. This will be uncontested because Darklings beyond I5 isn't really threatening your town at all. This town should be safe. Like, I mean, I guess Chaos can try to start D7, but that seems pretty bad, so I'm just going to discount that possibility. But maybe we shouldn't, because, like, Chaos starting D7 and then digging C5 with, like, their first action is actually kind of distressingly possible. Like, temp ship, like, Halfling should take the spade, so Chaos could temp ship up to here, and that would be, like, an issue for us. Darklings, I feel like, aren't going to be that bad, even if they can't town in the center. There's also the fact that I guess that E2 is just yours if Chaos starts here. So then, like, if Chaos starts D7, then you just have this town here. And if Chaos doesn't start D7, then Halflings are happier. They don't necessarily want D7, and then you can try to just get D7 later if Orin don't beat you there. It is a lot of priests to get that, though, to be fair. The game plan for Orin, I mentioned like taking buying a priest and then going like here and here. It is a very good color matchup for them. They like other than D6, which I don't think that green should ever prioritize. They should have space for a town here, space for a town here, and then maybe they try to beat Chaos to this town, but they probably can't win the race to H5. There is also this town, if you're not that interested in the network game, but I think that you want to be interested in the network game as Orin on this map. So I'm going to put one more on Darklings, and then I'm going to look at Orin. I think that there's a lot of merit to buying a priest with your first action, advancing ship, and just building 2 dwellings. There's also the question of who's going to compete for double dig this game. The answer is probably Halflings. But Halflings are starting with a spade anyway, so it makes it like a little awkward. Like, how badly do they want double dig? Or like a lot of factions here don't necessarily want double dig that much in round 1, which is one of like the strange artifacts about the Fire and Ice map. Like the canonical places to start for Orin or green, I think, are like C4 or E4, right? And starting on these 2 hexes means that you don't necessarily want to double spade if you don't have temp ship. You would rather just ship to get to G6 and A6 to start building your economy. The round 4 town makes you wonder like how many towns can you build like by then. I think that Chaos will be in position to build 1 town, Darklings will be in position to build 1 town, Halflings will be in position to build at least 1 town. Orin should easily be able to like get a town through here or like through here, but I'm not sure if they can do both by that point. If they start, like starting D3 is kind of like a kick network to the curb type of consideration, but you could try to do that as well. Anyway, I still like these 2 guys. The other faction that kind of like, so it winds up being that these factions are probably the ones that are happiest about like shipping in this game. So like the ship tiles, I think will both be pretty contested. I think that this will be like the passing game will be kind of interesting this game. There's a lot of tiles that people should want. The priest is probably the worst tile in the mid to late game here. The TP tile is kind of useless early, but as early as round 3, people are going to be interested in it. I think that my game plan is, as Chaos Magicians, there is the world where you start here and then you take temp ship and then you come here and then take this hex. You single spade with your first action and you go to A7, but this gets you the most leech, but it also gives Orin a lot of leech. It also just kind of seeds this territory. Now, Chaos Magicians might not care that much, but Halflings could also just fight you for B6, which would be a big bummer. Starting E2, you get a lot less leech. You're only going to get, like, starting D7 means that everyone gives you leech, right? Orin, when they upgrade, give you leech. Halflings, when they upgrade, like, if they're on D8, then they're giving you leech. If they're on, upgrading this doesn't make a lot of sense because it's not a town spot easily. Darklings will give you leech, and Orin will give you leech, and you get Halflings leech over here as well. The Halflings game plan is to take the spade, and then you hope that Chaos doesn't start on D7, and then you dig this hex in round 1. Now, I think that there is a world where you can open temp ship as halflings here. But if Darklings start D5, then that dream kind of dies. The other thing is if Chaos starts here and digs this, and you're double center as halflings, then your dreams also die. So it's pretty, that's pretty rough. I'll put one more on Chaos Magicians, and then I'm actually, yeah, I'll put one more on Chaos Magicians. This is probably as low as I'll go on Chaos. I do like their game plan. I think that they're going to get all the favorite tiles that they want. I also like Darklings a lot. Obviously, these are the two factions that are being most bid on. So I really should look at other factions' game plans. Like, what's the argument for starting H4? Like, how fast are you getting a neighbor down here? It might take a while. If you start down here, are you just giving up connection? Were you doing anything with connection anyway? Maybe not. There's no mid-rounds dwelling event this game. I like, as cultists at least, I really like to ship like B7, E6, I8, I9, especially the ship tile in game, especially like mid game. But this game doesn't necessarily lend itself that well. Like, this track doesn't necessarily lend itself that well to that sort of game plan. There's also like a slightly wild world where you just open with temp ship as halflings, and then you like double spade C5, B6 with your first actions. And then you're just on, you build this hex, you build this hex. That gets you but like dwellings in round one. Sets you up for your town space. I mean, it's a dwellings event, right? So. There's a slight question of should Orin build a temple in round one? Building a temple in round one is going to make it very hard to build a sanctuary in round two, or to build a stronghold in round two, rather. And I think that with this track, like, I always really want to build a stronghold in a stronghold round as Orin, because it's a very strong building. The only thing is that you're probably just too short on workers if you go temple to dwellings, right? You're only going to have 4 workers coming into the next round. You're also not going to have a lot of coins. Let's say you start on this, right? Or let's say you start on this. Well, okay, so advancing ship kind of kills the whole idea. Yeah. Advancing ship will kind of kill your dreams of building a stronghold in this round, I think. Temple, advanced ship, and 2 dwellings is 8 plus 4 plus, that's 16 coins. And then you need 9 the next round. Well, okay, so if you take fire 1, then it can be done. The only thing is then where are your 2 workers coming from? Your 2 workers short, and there's no pass tile that's going to give you 2 workers. Yeah, it seems like a big ask. You also need to be able to pass, like, well, yeah, you start on this guy, and then... Well, you are in the best leech position, theoretically. Theoretically. Okay, looks like we're playing Chaos Magicians. Let's see if we do get double center green. Halflings are almost certainly starting on D8. Halflings do start C3, which I think is good news, because that means that this is like less dreamy for Darklings. This means that I think that starting P2 is probably good. Yeah, starting E2 is probably good because of this. I think that Darklings should place D5 here. If they don't, that's a huge boon for Halflings. Because then Halflings can temp shift here with their double spade. They'll just double spade C5, leave it unbuilt, then build D5, E1. Okay, Darklings do start there, which I think is good. Or I'm going to place C4, and then I'm just going to place E2. I just don't really see any reason to like risk anything here. The spade will be gone, so I will take either the priest or temp ship, whichever comes to me. I think that Orin thought about, like, Eljaz thought for like a second about placing D3, but wound up not doing so. There is like a nice like possible town through here, but Orin don't have the Witcher's Stronghold, so they're not going to get to D3 anytime soon. Fire X is debating taking temp ship instead of the spade. I think that's a mistake. Yeah, just take the spade. Darklings have no real reason. Darklings can come here with temp ship, so they might actually take temp ship, in which case I get the priest, which I think is fine. I think I put the priest to, they take that, okay, so I get temp ship. So I'm just going to build G5. I think my round is very like straightforward. I'm just going to, Orin are probably going to like buy a priest or something, I think. But I think that my round is pretty straightforward. I just temple for Earth 1, probably Fire 1. And then build G5, and then if I'm handed it, then I'll take a single spade onto H5 as well. If I wind up getting the leech for double spade, then I will double spade G6 and then build G7, but I don't think, like, it's not clear to me if that's going to happen, like what's going to happen there, but I am just like going to start off by going for Earth 1 here. Like, I've already paid so many victory points, I might as well just get like every victory point that I can. I think that involves getting Earth 1 here. The other one is probably actually Earth. I mean, I'm going to have both Earth 2 and Air 2. I'm going to have all three of the economic favors by the time the Sanctuary round rolls around. The question is, which one do I most need in this first round? Darklings are deciding whether they want to dig the Hex or, yeah, what they want to do first. So they do decide to do this first. I think that they need a workers action, so someone could deny them the workers. It's not insane to see double temple for Halflings, in my opinion, but we'll see. It's a little sad that I would have to burn 6 power to double spade, but double spading is still quite good. Yeah, but now, if I don't double spade here, then Eljaz gets the double spade, and then probably takes D7. I don't really want to see Orin doing that, but at the same time, like, yeah, I don't particularly want to see Orin double spading here, so I think that I'll probably just take G6 here. Question is, how much does that hurt my chances later? Oh, Eljaz took the priest. Okay, so I'm no longer at risk of losing double dig. I think probably what happens if I temple here is Eljaz just grabs double dig and takes B5. Yeah, Eljaz or Fire X will like Darklings. I don't know if Darklings are upgrading C3 or D6 or E3. D6 might be better for them, in which case they'll probably, Halflings will get double dig, in which case they'll probably just dig B5. So the question is, can I afford to dig this Hex here? And is it like that good for me to do so? It's not. That answer is very tricky for me. If I do that, can I still afford the Sanctuary, essentially, is what I'm wondering. Darklings have 3 more actions. I'll have 1, 2, 3 more actions. So the question is, am I going to get onto this guy? I think Orin are probably advancing ship and then building this or something, but okay. You know what? The double spade can't be that bad. getting onto G7 can't be that bad either. So that's now the plan. Orin, we'll see what they do here. Yeah, okay. So Darklings do upgrade D6. I think that's what I would have done as well. It gets them the most leech, which, like, you mainly worry about your own leech as opposed to giving. Like, this is a difference of 3 total power for 3 victory points, or two power for 2 victory points. I think that can snowball pretty well if you're Darkling. So Fire X now no longer has that queued option, so of double spading B5. So we'll see what happens now. Fire X just uses his bonus spade and builds C5 for some leech. Orin are going to get a lot more leech, which is, I guess the thing that I didn't consider as Orin is that you are just getting an absurd amount of leech. So I think that he might be able to go Temple this round and then Stronghold next round, especially if he doesn't advance ship and build this dwelling, which he probably won't at this point. I would probably just put Priest of Fire if I were Eldraz, I think, and then take Fire 1, and then bump yourself. But who knows how they'll play it. Darklings could also put Priest of Fire to get this bonus. I don't think that would be absurd. I am going to spend 7 more coins this round. So I'll have 3. So I think one of these will need to be Fire 1. I think it's going to be Fire 1 and Earth 1 for me. And then I'll build G7. And then I'll try to get some coins on the pass, hopefully. Oh, I'm 1 worker short as well. That's awkward. Maybe it should be Fire 1, Earth 2. I think I really want Earth 1 this game. That's what's so awkward here, but... I'm going to get 2 more power. 4. The power doesn't really do me much. So I'm definitely taking this. Maybe I just should skip Fire 1, and I should go for Earth 2. Yeah, because I should be passing first here. No, but I don't know if I'm passing first, because this could go away, right? Alright, let's replay this. Let's replay this. Sorry about the undo, everyone. We're going to take Earth 2, Earth 1, I think. And then I'm going to try to pass on to a tile with coins on it. And if that doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. My next move is just going to build G7, and then I'm going to try to pass onto this. We'll see if I'm allowed to. Darklings need to make their temple. Eldraz needs to make his bump. The question is Fire X going to pass onto this? But if he does, then I get a spade. And a spade is like pretty good, no matter what. Maybe I miss out on this, but then I can just put the Priest to air. I wonder if Fire X build a bridge. Because he's getting a bunch of leech soon. Okay, the workers did go, so that's good. The question, yeah, I could pass on to these coins instead of building G7, but I think I'm going to just greed it. I think I'm going to greed it and build G7. Or am I going to cult bump Fire, I think. Halflings took air too, which makes a lot of sense. Halflings probably aren't going to take that many more favors, so yeah, so that makes a lot of sense for them. So Orin have committed to the long round. I'm going to build this dwelling. I think that the territory is valuable here. Darkling's Temple now. Yeah, the big question now is, are halflings going to take the bridge? The answer is probably... I can't even begin to answer that question, actually. Darklings are debating what favor tile they want. I think that they might go for Air 2. I think that this is not a bad game to try Air 2 Darklings. They take Fire 1 instead. Seems fine. Now for like the big question here is Fire X just going to pass? I obviously want Fire X to build this bridge. Fire X 6 coins. Okay, that's great. So I'm golden. So I'm getting the Sanctuary next round. Everything is good. I probably open by dropping my Priest onto Air next round. And then I Sanctuary for Fire 1, Air 2. There's a chance that I get Fire 1 blocked. I think there's like a small chance that happens. I don't think that there's much of a chance that I get Air 2 blocked. This is actually a little scary because I'm losing. I actually put myself at risk of getting Air 2 blocked. But I don't think that Darklings are going to Sanctuary Air 2 next round. So I think that I do have time to put a Priest off to a Cult. This is a little scary for me in that Orin are going to get a chance. Okay, Orin are pass on a double spade, and they can now double spade A5, E5 next round. Though that doesn't give them much to. Probably one of them will be a landscape. Probably a landscape onto A5 makes sense for Orin, I think. They could also try to double spade D7, but I don't know that that's that great. Eljaz has a hilarious 8 power coming to him next round now that he put the Priest on a Fire, which I think means that he's going to have easily enough stuff to build a Stronghold. He only needs 2 workers, so he just can take the workers action next round or something. But that is going to be all his stuff, really. There's also a Priest that almost certainly goes to Air as well, but I'm going to get the first Priest to Air. After that, probably someone drops a Priest onto Earth. So my round is Priest to Air, Sanctuary for Air 2, Fire 1, and then just pass. Orin are going to be on the Spade, so I'm probably passing on to Temp, or Halflings will probably be on Temp Ship, so I'm probably passing on to the Ship VP tile. Yeah, so my round is Priest to Air, Sanctuary, pass on to this. I think that that's pretty fine. And then that round I will probably buy coins with my power income. And then build this Hex. I'm trying to figure out if there's a world where it makes any sense to just skip Fire 1 entirely and instead just go for Orin, take the single spade. Okay. They want to make sure that they have chances to shift effectively or like bridge. Orin probably next round they might just bridge now actually, right? Orin can bridge and build D9 and then they pass onto the spade and they're in great position to town. They can just drop the landscape here, make make their stronghold. Get Earth 1. Yeah, this is a very cool opening by Orin. I didn't expect this. I also don't think that Eldrazi expected this. He took a very long time to like decide to do this. This was clearly like largely just a result of like all this leech. Like you don't like D6 becoming a temple is a huge boon to Orin and Halflings, which they weren't expecting. Round's ending. Okay, it's our turn. We will send our priest to air as discussed. Darklings might send a priest to, okay, it's Earth. That's cool. Halflings probably just buy coins here. Take coins or something. And then advance ship. They will want a double spade, but I assume that they'll want to do the double spade after they've already advanced ship and they can build D4. Like this is an awesome game by Halflings already. I'm already really jealous. They can probably build. I would probably do D4, spade B6, then build B7, E6, and A2. I think that that's probably what Halflings are going to see. That would mean just advancing ship here. Just hold on about the coins action. Well, actually, you maybe just take coins here, and then you advance ship, and then you double spade D4, B6. This feels a little better now that Darklings aren't getting the coins action because of it. Eldrazi just dropped his priest onto air. Makes sense. He is going to beat me to the key town. Now I take fire 1. Oh, no. We don't want air 1. Oh dear, this is rough. Okay. Air 2, fire 1. Darklings probably just take Earth 1 here. And if I were Orin, I would probably just take Earth 1 as well. I am missing out on a little bit of leech that I could have had, which makes me sad. Next round is a trading post round, which is going to be good for all of these guys, but I have no neighbors, so that's sad. I don't know if I'm ever getting neighbors down here now that I think about it. After I cut off Eldrazi over here, it's not clear that I'm ever getting neighbors for trying to make a town through here. So probably the plan is just going to have to be I bridge and then try to make a town like with a bunch of digs or something. It might be like a 2-bridge game. In any case, do we build this guy? We have the stuff to build this guy. There's no tiles that I want though. Like Darkling's passing doesn't give me any good stuff. Darklings are also going to pass onto the priest and just be able to take D7 next round. That's annoying. They can dig D7, triple dig D7, and then just go for 2 TPs for like a 2-key town or something. Well, no point in worrying about that. I probably want to pass and just grab coins next round. do I pass on to the coins or do I pass on to the VP tile? Because probably B5 will be safe next round, so I could pass on to this, and then, but I can't buy both the priest and take the coins. I'm getting 5 power income. 5, and then I'll pass on to the, yeah, I'll pass on to the VP tile. So I will be advancing my ship this round. All right, this is going okay. I don't know that it's going particularly well. I think that everyone else just has very strong games, and I have a pretty severe lack of neighbors. Like here's this TP round, and I'm not sure if I'm building a single one. So I'm gonna struggle to get up here, right? Do I buy a priest next round instead of a? Is that 2 victory point greedy? Because like advancing ship actually does me nothing. This coming round. Yeah, my lack of priest production is an issue here. I think I'm losing A5 to Orin always. Darklings pass on some coins and a cult step. Here's FireX planning to go shipping. Eldrazi probably just dropped the landscape here now, but is just going to go for the stronghold first. I think that Eldrazi putting the landscape here now would mean getting better leech from FireX. Well, FireX goes to 3 ship. I don't going to E1, I guess. I guess he didn't have a spade. Yeah, he chose not to take a spade, which I thought that taking yeah. Okay, now he has spades, but so it's going to be E6, I8, E1, and then B7, I guess, or I9 or something. Anyway, yeah, the reason that I thought that it would make sense to put the landscape first is so that you get the 2 for 1. Yeah, like getting the 2 for 1 would have been good. You're surprised that I didn't even mention taking the double dig as an option. Yeah, I don't really see double dig as being very good for me. I don't have any shipping, so like I can't really get onto any hexes that I want, and like I think that like just straight up resources are better than like power spades right now. I guess like I could build G5 and then try to double spade like H5, G8. I could have done that instead of like down converting all my power, but I think coins are just better right now. Oh, Eldrazi wants to come down here. And then what? He wants to fight me on G8. What's awkward? I think I don't like that move by Eldrazi except to cut me off. I guess he can like spade that to with this, but that seems like an iffy decision to me. I think I will fight this hex, right? Yeah, like I do fight this hex now that it's contested. Like, I just, yeah, I have to single dig this hex first action now. I just have enough coins, so yeah, maybe you're right. Like taking the double dig was better. Saving the power for double dig was better, right? Like this is, I mean, this does give me a neighbor for a trading post, so I think that this is really not that great for Eldrazi. Eldrazi has the devil economy. He has 666, 6 power, 6 coins, 6 workers. Anyway, yeah, this is annoying. I just have to take it, right? I have to secure my hex, so that's going to give coins to Darklings. That's really, really not ideal, but I can't just get cut off from all of my hexes forever, so that's the world that we live in. Bummer, but yeah. You know what? I think I'm happy with this anyway because this gives me a space to put TPs. So I'm not that unhappy about this. Probably the person who's least happy about that is Eldraz, instead of just like putting the landscape on D10. So it's fine. He's just being a bro and letting me upgrade TPs. Yeah, apparently so. And also, you were totally right about the double spade because, like, I mean, like, this is, like, honestly, like, this is kind of like the plus and the minus of Terra Mystica, right? Like, you get the neighbor, you're very happy for the neighbor, but then it forces you to also prioritize your hexes. It's, like, one of the beauties of the game, but it's also, like, one of the frustrating aspects. It's very cool. We have enough stuff for 2 TPs and a ship advance. But we're a little short on the coins for a dwelling. We're 1 coin short of also building a dwelling. And I don't really want to burn my power down to 5. So that's a bummer. But I think that my coin situation should be fine anyway, so just build G5. Like, or maybe I don't advance ship and I just accept that this is 0 VP this round. But at this point, like, B5 is kind of dead. So yeah, I think building G5 is probably the right move, because that lets me cult spade H5. F6 and F7 might be dead hexes at this point, because halflings are close to them. Now. Yeah, this thing looks like a monstrosity to me. I feel like it should just be like nice and smooth. Darklings are just so happy right now. They're gonna dig D7 so fast. I mean, actually, I guess like they could advance ship and build up here, but digging D7, just putting up a TP, I think, is like a very, very fine round. That would be 8 points for the dwelling, 3 points for the TP. Just a huge number of straight up points. Eldraz is advancing shipping, which I would not have done, probably. Do I do this? I probably don't. I'm not going to win this cult outright anyway. Obviously, Orin have the inside track on that. I still have a chance that I could advance shipping and build a dwelling, so I should just. Well, I'm not getting any leech at all, right? Like, this is a landscape. This can't be upgraded. Maybe I shouldn't fixate too much on building 2 dwellings and instead just build 1 dwelling, or 2 TPs, and instead just build 1 TP, advanced ship, and then 2 dwellings. That sounds like pretty balanced to me. Okay. I think the new plan is G5 advanced ship H9. And then my cult spade goes on F6. If halflings still aren't fully, like, they haven't advanced on their digging track at all. So I go F6 and then F7. I think that's the new plan. On the other hand, more TPs means more power, and I can pass on to this TP thing. I don't know. It's tough right now. I think I definitely want to build G5 either way. Eljaz is really going to just wait till next round to... Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine, I guess. You can just, like, bump himself here. What is this? This is really odd to me. I have to say. I mean, it's extremely kind to Eldraz, to FireX as well, right? Like, FireX badly want, like, or I guess he already has the neighbors he needs for, like, this town. But like 2 spades for this one guy. Now you can build D11, but he already had a free hex. I don't know. I shouldn't worry too much about his decisions and worry more about mine. G5 is happening either way. So now the question is, do I just build a TP and let things be? Or do I advance my ship and build H9? This is a bummer. He chooses to give a lot of leech to halflings, which makes sense, I guess, because halflings are going to upgrade these hexes. I should have really considered like the long-term leech implications this game. It has been really rough for me, and that has really not played out how I hoped. Darklings are now going to be able to pass onto the TP tile, which is fantastic. I think after thinking about it a little bit, I think the answer is that I want to just build this TP. Yeah, I think I just want to build this TP. And then if I'm allowed to, I'll just pass straight on to the TP tile. But like, it's not clear if Darklings might want to bump this. They might not. But we'll do this first, and we'll see. Because this TP is worth as many points as that ship advance. And it gives you more power, which is the resource that I want more right now. This bump doesn't do them a ton of good, so I think that passing right now is probably correct, but I'm happy to see that they value otherwise. Orin can now pass for the TP tile, which would, I don't know how many points they would be getting off of it, because this is not a TP heavy town, and they don't really have neighbors for TPs up here. Yeah, so Orin are going to pass for that, so that's a bummer for me again. Alright, so now FireX is going to put a temple up here, or a dwelling here, and a TP here, so I can't get the spade either. So what do I want? This is not where I would have dug. I probably would have dug A9 to make a TP, but that's fine. They can just upgrade here and give other people leech. Maybe they build a TP here, force a lot of leech onto Orin. Anyway, this is really not where I want it to be. I think that I just placed this on water. This gives me probably second place on water pretty happily. I could also just put it on earth. Like, Darklings are just going to want. Yeah. Darklings are going to cede this to me, so. And I need a priest there probably anyway, in order to get this cult spade. Like, I could take an 8-pointer, but I might just take like some other more economic town at that point. Darklings pass, they probably just pass for a priest. I'd probably pass for a priest given how many coins they have. Darklings getting this town is really nice for them. And they can probably try to carve this town. Now that halflings are on E1, like, I would rarely, like, I think FireX is playing a fine game. He's probably, like, he might be winning this game. But I think that E1 is extremely kind to Darklings. I would have dug D, instead of going 3-ship, I would have dug D4 and then gone for A2, A1 if I were FireX. But obviously I'm not. He's in charge of himself. I think Eljaz should probably open coins here. But obviously, it's up to him how he wants to handle this game. I assume that this is a TP. Like, I would probably just go TP here, dwelling here. But we'll see. I have a chance to make a non-bridge town if I go for this. The bridge would save me 2 digs, So I think that the bridge is probably worth it. Oh, Fires goes for water 1. So the water 1 is clearly a sign. Like, water 1, I think, for Fire X is a signal that he's advancing digs next round, because it's a second temple. And I need to pass. I need a bridge. I would love the spade, but I probably just take some coins. This puts me out of like the realm of interest of like taking more coins. Yeah, the spade probably goes on h5 here. I don't know. It was tricky. That was a really tricky spot. I think that I could have put a bridge here and then like gone for this stuff. Put like a bridge here, or like cult spaded here, then put a bridge here, then tried to hard dig my way through here. But I'm pretty short on workers right now. My priest might have to become a worker, which is pretty sad, given that I haven't advanced my ships yet. This is not really where we want to be, but so far it's not a very high town game. I think that Darklings are going to have the most towns once they make this town. Don't think that they should have issues doing that. Network-wise, it's not high for anyone except Halflings right now. Really didn't expect Halflings to be dominating network like this, but so Eldraz is going for another town over here. That kind of makes sense. He's going for a 3-town game. It's a lot of so I assume that this is A9 with a cult spade, but I suppose it could be like any of these guys up here as well. Eldraz can't buy a bridge. He's not on the correct hex to be buying a bridge, so he's going to be taking coins, which means that I will get the bridge should I want it, and the answer is yes, I do want it. It goes right there, then h5. Maybe I just temple for fire too after that. After I get the bridge, maybe I just temple for fire too. It saves me having to get a spade here and just, oh no, building the temple this round is clearly better. Okay. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just lost. That's where I thought that the spade should go, so. Fire X is like no coins, but we'll probably take a coin town. Yeah. I assume it's a coin town for Fire X. I have the opportunity to double spade here, but clearly will not. I need a bridge. Darklings should probably just temple for water 1, in my opinion. We'll see if they do. Orin will probably go trading post, then temple water 1 this round. So I am gonna miss out on water 1, which means that I just want like air 1 pretty soon. I need this bridge, so that's going to be my first action, I think. I don't think that this decision is that hard. I think it's just water 1. And then this, I would probably just take, I don't know what town they should take, but fortunately it's not my job to figure that out. My job is just to play my own game. So my next action could be temple for fire 2, water 1. I think that's probably right? Like I just temple for fire 2, water 1. I had forgotten, like I think fire 2 isn't that great, but I think that water 1 is great. It takes it away from Orin. it gives me water 1. It does mean that I don't have this, but I also want to up my priest production anyway. I've been saying it for a while, so. Um, so yeah, I think that's the play. It also gives me an extremely outside shot at being able to start carving this town. I can turn this hex to yellow with the double spade, and then this hex to red, build this. Orin, yep, close out a cult. Seems pretty good. Orin are having an excellent game. I will block them on water 1 now, though, so that's cool. Darklings might just go for a workers town. I don't think a workers town is terrible for Darklings right now. Then they can double spade this, advanced ship, build C2 or something, get their worker production back up. Yeah, workers town would put them at, man, 59 points already. I am in trouble. Water 1, fire 2. Normally I like air 1 better than water 1. Or I like air 1 better than, what's it called, fire 2, like under normal circumstances. However, it's a town scoring round, so I like the tempo on that a lot. And then next round I can maybe get air 1, though I don't think my economy really supports it. I don't think I'm getting any leech. Now there's the question of which town am I taking here. Fire X still has not advanced digs. Put the priest to water. Which means that I could be... Do I want to try this bridge shenanigans? Or should I try to just be safe and double spade here? Like, I'm trying to decide which town to take. I think that the 8-pointer makes a lot of sense. I think I'm probably dropping my last priest here if I'm not advancing ships. And I don't think I have to advance ships because... Yeah, okay, I'll get 2 spades off the cult. I'm going to get 2 spades off the cult here. I'm going to put my priest to earth, and then I'm going to take an 8-pointer. That'll give me 2 spades off the cult, and then one of them goes on h7, one of them goes on f4. And then I can just build these 2 hexes to make a town. Okay, so that's the plan. Kids, don't try to build your economy this way at home. Highly not advised, strongly ill-advised to build your economy this way. I'll be in the 50s after I take my 8-pointer town. I should remember that Orin can only close one of these 2 cults because they already closed air. So next round I may be taking like fire 3 or like earth 3 and air 1. Fire Ice game is going so amazingly well. I love this game for halflings. This is like the game that I wanted to play as halflings, but I didn't see how I was going to get the resources to do it. If I had seen this, basically if I had seen this coming, Darklings upgrading so much next to halflings, then I think I probably would have felt a lot more comfortable trying to play as halflings. But like I wound up being really on the wrong side of the leech circle here. Is this a coin town? It is a ship town. Okay, he wants to save his priests for other stuff. So he wants to probably put it to the water cults so he can get these coins later. He could also start advancing his digs, but I assume that this priest is for scoring. Especially given how dire his coin situation is. Eljaz is building here. Okay. Yeah, this is looking a little rough for me. Eljaz is going to have like a ton of passing points with these. But in any case, I'm going to wrap up my town now. We said this was going to be the 8-pointer. I don't see much of a reason to back out of that now. Darklings did indeed advance their ship, so they will be able to build this hex. I don't think this player plays like a 100s rated player. It seems a little unfair that I lost so many victory points from losing to him. Oh, there's the pass from halflings. So they wanted to pass for tempo so that they can take coins. They're probably passing onto these coins. Oh, they're passing onto the spade. Wow. This is such an interesting game from halflings. They're putting off their dig advances like quite like prolonging or postponing their dig advances by a lot. So I think it's pretty safe to say. Well, actually, I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. Probably shouldn't try to predict who's winning just yet. I don't think I'm getting any more leech this round. So I'm just going to convert everything down and pass for the VP tile. I now have 9 coming in. I can take exactly 9. And this does put me into contention for the double spade. I can take, so I'm going to put a cult spade on H7, and then and a cult spade on F4. I can double spade F4 and I4. Yeah, that's probably it. Also have the tempo on the next town, so I should be able to grab another 8-pointer. And if I need to, I can just temple. Like at that point, I can temple for something like water 2, fire 3. We'll see what I'm allowed to do. Priest Town could be just as good. I need workers as well. Yeah, we'll see. Long way to go still. I'm also just like, this is just not like where I want my economy to be. Building extra TPs instead of building extra dwellings is just not the way to advance your economy, obviously. Have all the coins, but no workers. There's probably a TP here. It's a priest, which goes to fire. Wait, where? Yeah, okay. Okay, so Earth has been conceded. I will still try to close the Earth track if I get time, but I should be getting around 16, maybe 18 cult points this game, so that's cool. Eljaz is going to want to bridge. I could bridge, but he could just bridge block me. So that could just end poorly for both of us. So Probably try to avoid going down that route. Templing now is a lot less attractive because I don't need to close Earth very urgently. Darklings could temple for Earth 3. That would be quite annoying. They have reasonable, like, it wouldn't be insane for them to do it either. Like, it would earn them 4 points, plus 8 points, plus priests. Darklings probably just turn B3 or something. They probably don't want to, like, risk anything with halflings, but I'm sure halflings will let them have this. Like, this is the hex that they actually want, but yeah. They can also just turn C1 blue for like a 2 temple one. Yeah, they just turned this hex black out here, which is what I expected. Hopefully Darklings don't just open up with a temple for Earth 3. Like, I'm pretty scared of that happening, and like it's not entirely insane to envision it happening, given how like they don't really need this TP for anything. It's a temple round. Yeah, I'm just hoping that doesn't happen. Nope, they are going to temple for Earth 3. Well, fuck. That's just a big bummer for me. Probably time to decline these, right? Well, no, it'll still be useful next round, so. Yeah, this really sucks for me. This is a bad break, I think. But it's good. It's a good play by Darklings. Like, what are you going to do? It's hard not to feel like a little targeted based on that, like, but whatever. It's mainly just like not a good break. I've been getting some bad breaks, so like, or I mean, like, I guess it's not really a bad break that I didn't get the leech that I hoped for, because like that's not really a break, right? That's just, yeah, it's just a bummer. Have halflings advanced their digs yet? They haven't. I could take a priest town and just start advancing my shipping a little more aggressively, but I still think that the 8-pointer is decent. Forces Darkling's hands a little, so. That also cycles me in power, so I could buy a priest if I wanted. But honestly, we probably just start seeing halflings advance their digs, and then I'll just lose B5 right away, because that's how this game has been going. This is probably, well, this is probably air 1, I guess. Yeah. It's water 2. Okay. Eldrazi really wants to fight the water track. That seems, I guess that's reasonable. Yeah, it looks like I'm losing b5. Eljaz is, or not Eljaz, but rather FireX is advancing digs already. So, um, at this point, I might just go like, well, no, I think I have to build these two hexes, or else halflings are going to just come down here and take them from me. Um, like, we'll see what hexes are left for me. Halflings probably want a second town eventually, so. Um, yeah, I'm pretty bummed about this. Like, I did see this coming, but I hoped that it wouldn't happen that way. Darkness are playing a very good game. I think that they're gonna, like, they're doing very, very well. Once again, I feel like the ELO is lying a little bit here. I've only built 8 structures. It's not a lot of structures. Well, we'll advance our ship and see if we're allowed to get onto b5. That's what we'll do. Halflings probably advance their digs again here. Because some of, like, quote, their hexes are being threatened. I think that there's a high chance I lose. Yeah, there's like every chance that I lose this hex here. But I think that this means I am getting b5 at least. Darklings are getting a free build here. Then they can pass onto the TP tile. They can actually just pass onto the TP tile now as well and be pretty much fine. They won't have that many TPs, but it should be fine for them. Yeah. They can pass and take coins. I'm probably going to wind up having to cede this tile to someone. The ideal tile that I get is the spade. But I probably have to pass right now. Like, I'm going to be the next person to pass. Both these guys are going to stall me. Or are going to wind up with my tile, which means I'm going to get, like, one of these absolute garbage tiles, which... it's painful. It's going to be Sanctuary Fire, too. It's going to be a 3-town Orin game. It's very nice. This is probably a second dig advance. I don't really see much reason for FireX to deny me this hex now that he's denied me f7. So the double spade will still be valuable to me next round. So at least there's that upside. It's very reasonable air 1. These two are fighting hard on network. I'm taking b5 as discussed. Eldrad's is advancing shipping out of basically just needs stuff to do. I don't really get the. Oh, Eldrad's does need to ship to connect anyway. Fair enough. Eldrad's is betting on not getting bridge blocked, which I think is pretty safe. Yeah, there's like no chance that anyone bridge blocks in here. I guess halflings could if they pass first, but they're never passing first. We're gonna use this. They need one for water too. They could buy the priest. I could buy the priest here, and I think that I might. But I also want the double spade, but the priest like might let me outstall Eljaz. I guess it probably doesn't really let me outstall Eljaz. Eljaz can still buy like 2 workers, make a TP for a priest town. But I mean, the good thing about the priest is that it does allow me to advance ship to get 3 more points. And I do think I want that ship advance anyway. But let's just start with maybe this. I think there's an argument for me to take temp ship if that's left to me next round. The argument for temp ship is that it lets me get tempo on F2. But no, I would still need to advance ship or build these 2 dwellings before temp ship could be useful to me. And I don't think I'm building those 2 dwellings now, so. I think that there is a case, it's probably correct for me to build a TP now, though. The TP now, like, I don't need the economy, but I have enough workers already, and dwellings score points next round, so it's probably just right to build a TP. And we'll just put it over here. My gut feeling is that Orin are winning because they're getting this pass tile, but I could be wrong. I think I'm very clearly losing. Yeah, like Orin already are tied with me in victory points, but they have another town and they're crushing me in endgame scoring. And they're getting my pass tile. I mean, I'm getting my pass tile now, but yeah, they have Air 1, like, they don't have a tremendous number of hexes to build, I guess, like, but once they get to 3 ship, they should be able to get F3. I think halflings should interfere with that. This looks like an undo happening. They're trying to take another town. Yeah, it looks like my points are running out pretty rapidly. I have 4 natural reds, so that my goal is going to be to hit those 4 natural reds. TP 4 reds. I think that I can reasonably expect some interference on those hexes, but that's the dream. So that actually does give me a reason for temp shift. Temp shift does give me A7 a little faster. That also makes it easier for Eldraz to town, but so be it. Yeah, I've gotten annihilated in this passing game, which sucks. I just really haven't been able to get onto the stuff that I want, but oh well. I think I pass on to this guy. It just seems pretty decent. This gets me the double spade in case like halflings decide for whatever reason to interfere with A7 early. I don't think that they will, so I don't think that they should see me as much of a threat. I really am not. I'm going to end up with 4 stuff on my board, and they're going to end up with 3, so I'm not a threat to their network. They should really want to interfere more with Orin. So yeah, I'm not very competitive in terms of the score either. So anyway, Orin pass onto this. Halflings are going to pass probably onto the... Well, they might pass onto this guy, because there's a point to be gained from it and a coin to be gained from it. This can also be a threat, so halflings could like bump water and then temple for water 3 or something, though I don't think that they would do that. It's unfortunate that the one person who did feel like doing that did it at my expense. Like I can't really blame him for it. Like he did fine. He's going to do fine, but yeah, it sucks for me. Darklings, their best play might actually be to take... Well, they're probably taking a workers town again. So they're going to go TP, dwelling. TP, dwelling, workers town. So that's 5 workers spent, 2 workers back, then they'll have 4 left, and they build 4 dwellings. So that's 5 more structures. Hopefully they end up with 5 stuff left on their board. They don't take coins. Wow. Wow. God, this is painful. I don't think I actually can, like... Can I really just let the coins go? Oh, I mean, we'll find out if I can or not. Like, so I just really don't need those coins, which is really sad to say. I just really need to build my hexes. That's what I need. Yeah, my next move is just going to be advanced ship, build F2, and then come I3, I4. Like FireX clearly can like waste some workers to interfere if he feels like it. If I don't get messed with that badly, then I should be able to at least beat Darklings on network. There's also a small chance that I'm able to beat Orin on network. Yeah, Orin by the bridge. And halflings don't kill Orin. Halflings don't take the coins. The coins are still there. Okay, Darklings get the coins back. I guess what did they even do? They upgraded this, which didn't really make a ton of sense to me. That was a weird situation there. Okay. Um, I guess we'll just upgrade this. It might be more leech than they want, so. Darklings can mess with F2 as well. That sucks. Yeah, it really sucks. Anyway, yeah, I don't love this E1 here for Fire X. It seems to help Darklings a lot. Um, I recognize that it's worker production for him as well, but like, if he had saved his power instead for like single spade on D4, then he could have built these two hexes as well. Um, and then Darklings wouldn't be getting this nice town. Now Fire X is probably beating Darklings anyway, but if he does like somehow manage to lose to Darklings, then I think that E1 can be looked at as a mistake. Forcing Darklings to dig like a little more awkwardly around him is actually like pretty significant. Like maybe buy a bridge and interfere with Orin as well. Orin probably want double spade. Orin also getting a 3 ship would give them F3. So that's also notable. I'm not really stopping them from expanding, am I? Double spade, they have lots of stuff left that they can even hard dig with. They have another town coming. We're advancing our ship here. We'll secure F2 if we're allowed to. I suspect that this hex gets meddled with at this point, but we'll see if it does, in fact, happen. If it does, I guess we hard dig G2 and then try to build I4 or something, but we really just hope it doesn't. That's not what happens. What can Darklings do here? They can build this and then take 2 workers and then... Yeah, Darklings, if they convert a priest to a worker, they can actually get down to only 5 structures as well, which would tie me on network. So that's a bummer. I wonder if Halflings meddle with F3 now. Like Halflings recognizing that Orin are like definitely a threat would be very helpful to me. Darklings aren't meddling, so. Oh, I guess Halflings already declined to do that. They instead put priest to water. So the race is going to be on the water cult right now. Orin are going to have to lock that up with their next action, which means that halflings still have time to meddle with F3. So that hopefully that happens. Meanwhile, another workers' town indeed did get taken. So yeah, we'll see if they do priest to worker and build out all of their stuff. In any case, I got this hex, which is what I wanted. So now I should be able to get I3 next, and then build a TP on B5, and then build I4 to close out my game. FireX grabs 2 workers, that's just efficient points, but also just assists with their ability to... I really don't like not meddling with F3 there, but I guess FireX also just doesn't really care that much about other people's network. Like, it makes Orin more competitive with me, but it doesn't make them more competitive with halflings, because there's no way that they're getting down to 3 structures like halflings will be. So that's all fair enough. Darklings secure their cheapest digs, which I think is also good. If they want to follow my theory, then they need to convert a priest to a worker. So this locks up all my threatened hexes. Halflings choosing this tile over this tile is kind of interesting to me. I think that I would have thought that they would want to just take it on air, but they don't. Halflings come down here to H3 to access a natural hex. Seems good. Darklings just continue building a crap ton of stuff. Also seems good. Yeah, it looks like I am in line for another 4th place this game. God, what a disaster. I have just not played well recently. I suppose I probably want to put a priest here. Halflings are going to build a TP. They can't build H4 yet, so I can just put my priest here, where it will become... I'm almost certain that this will be needed to earn points against halflings, because they just have so many priests. Like, 2 priests here is 1 priest for 2 points is like a very good deal for halflings, so I need to send a priest here to stop them from doing that. Then I'll build I4, and that'll be my game. I will end at 108 with, let's call it 12 points. It's possible that Darklings will pass me, but I find that pretty unlikely. So 14, 122, 2 resource points, 126, or 124, and then let's call it a tie for 3 points on network. Yeah, because Orin will be able to hard dig D2 and then build C1, F1. Or they don't even need to hard dig, they can like use this. Oh well. It looks like I was wrong about half. Did I say the halflings were winning? Obviously, Orin seemed to be winning, actually. Um, yeah, like 26 points on top of this is like just going to be really hard to beat, I think. I mean, Darklings, again, like they are just being Darklings. They have a stupid amount of points. Darklings don't have another hex that they can build on, so they do need to. So putting priest to water is actually their best place to put it. Best thing to do with their priest, because they don't actually have a place to build their last dwelling. What does that mean for us? I don't think it really means anything for us. I think we just still need to play the same way. Does it bother Fire X at all if I take H4 from him? Probably not. So do I want to go on the water cult or the air cult? It's just a matter of who I want to take points away from, right? But like I'm very obviously losing to Darklings, and I think I'm losing to Halflings as well. Doesn't really matter which cult this goes on. Yeah, either way I like just lose the point on the other side. I'll put it on. We'll put it on the water cult first, but if I'm able to, it's probably just worth it to drop a 5-power priest on air as well. Yeah, like if this hex is left empty, then I'm just going to drop a 5-power priest there. Yeah, Darklings are going to get 3 points plus 2 points. That's 5 points, 122. Pass for 4, 126. Plus 8, 134. That's going to be more than me. Can Orin get out 3 more stuff? Yes, the answer is yes, they can. Unless Halflings interfere. Halflings can still interfere. But Orin are getting out of 4 more stuff. Like, that is clear at this point. Halflings don't interfere. They instead just build here. I don't like that. I think that Halflings, I think that they should see Orin as their number 1 threat. So shouldn't they be fighting Orin here? I don't know. This is probably priest to air from halflings. They've put it off for like pretty long. Um, like if it's not that I'm just dropping a 5 power priest to air, um, it's like pretty important. Yeah, I think I just dropped a 5 power priest to air now. It cost me a victory point, but then I just saved 2 versus halflings. Or maybe I just buy a priest and then halflings are disincentivized from sending their priest here. Buying a priest saves me a victory point. That's the reason why I'm considering it, but doesn't matter too much. I think that we're all just like seeing who's second at this point. Darklings are going to end at 134 because they have no network. I am going to get 9 network points, so this is 2 resources plus 12 cult points is 14, 122, plus 9, 131. Yeah, it's not enough. It's not enough to beat Darklings. God, that sucks. Yeah, buying the priest doesn't do me much because if halflings put priest to air and then I put priest to air, then halfling's best move is to put priest to air again. Buying the priest could just deter halflings from sending priest to air, period, but once I pass, then they can just do it again. I think I just let them have it, right? No, there's no point in not doing this. It's sad, but it's true. So, in that round where Darklings took Earth 3, I could have taken Earth 3 instead, but the reason why I didn't was I took the double spade. That move actually won Darkling's 3rd place over me, so I guess I probably should have prioritized that more then. That's what that tells me. Like, yeah, it's a bummer to lose this game like that. This is 14, 122 plus 9, 131. Darklings have 8, 134, so they are beating me. Halflings are going to have beat Darklings, and then Orin are going to win overall. So. I think at least. Halflings have 2 points plus 2 points plus 3 resource points is 5, 120. Plus 4, 124. Plus 18 is 142. Plus 10 or 8 is 150. So this is 150. Orin have 26 plus 1, 27, 1. That was the winning dig. It's possible that I get onto like a few more hexes. Yeah, like it's possible that this guy is like a little better for me than the temp ship. The temp ship let me get onto some of these hexes that with a little more tempo. I don't know if those would have been left for me, I guess, in the end. Um, yeah, this is a bit of a bummer for me. I think this is the second time that FireX has kind of taken, he played Nomads in the last game that we streamed here, and they had a Sandstorm ability, and I think that they could have blocked a little, like they could have blocked Darklings that game. Like this game, they didn't wind up losing to Darklings, but they did lose to Orin. And they didn't block Darklings when they had the chance, and then Darklings went on to win. Uh, this game, they had Halflings, and they chose not to block Orin when they had the chance, and that also cost them. So, oh well. Our Ela takes another huge hit due to losing to the 100 rated player. Um, so, thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully it was an entertaining game. It wasn't a fast one. I feel like these uh, Tuesday night games are not going to be that fast. As far as where our game went wrong, besides the obvious answer of like everywhere, I would say that we just overbid on a faction that didn't like wasn't going to get enough neighbors. I think that my leech was actually not awful, but the neighbor situation was actually the leech situation was awful, right? This was 1 point of leech for me. I didn't get any leech from here. Um, I got 1 point of leech from here. So yeah, I got 0 leech after round 1 essentially. Um, so yeah, there needs to be a place where I can figure out like how to, you know, like I have to be able to identify some places where like I can do like just slightly better or like evaluate that better in the auction, right? I was just like, oh, this is gonna be like a good color for Chaos Magicians, but even at the beginning, I knew that green had an advantage in the network race. I also guess I didn't know that Halflings would like play this specific type of network game and allow Darklings to like get this space up here. I would have been more interested in Darklings had I known that. Though of course, if that were the case, then um, like Darklings didn't wind up performing that well anyway. I also didn't read that Darklings were going to upgrade their Sanctuary at D6. And like this power party basically won the game for the other 3 factions, and I kind of lost by being here. I remember that I was considering a line where I dug D5, C5 and then built A7, but whatever. Darklings taking Earth 3 was a bad break for me, but it looks like by playing for 3rd, they did by playing against me, they did secure themselves 3rd. So Rainer always says that green is really strong on Fire and Ice map. Shows up here. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that this is green being strong on Fire and Ice map. I really don't. Like, I think that this is like a bit of luck. I think that Halflings were supposed to win this game, right? Halflings had a lot of digs that they could just hate dig, throw around at the end of the game, but why weren't they digging away F3? F3 is like, witches are really strong on this map. Green is good if they don't get disrupted, but like, I think that I did my job in disrupting green. I took G6 early, and then, yeah, got this stuff going later. And then that cut Orin off except from doing this stuff. What really won green the game here is that they got an extreme amount of leech. Like the leech that they got in round 1 was just absolutely insane. They were able to open Temple, take a priest, put it to fire, and then get the single dig, then a bridge, then build this, and they still had like amazing power left. And then they were able to get Earth 1 as well, so that was all really good. It is unfortunate. I feel like a little unfortunate I lost to Darklings. I think that I just vastly overbid on Chaos Magicians, and I was never able to pass at the right time. The log is going to show that I ended this game with 6 passing points. That's just not enough. Uh, yeah, like I bid on a faction with with shipping, and I just didn't like. I think that the record might show that like building the second TP was probably just a mistake. Instead of building the second TP that round, I was probably supposed to just advance ship and build H9. Um, I think that if I do that, then I pass for the 3 points that I got from the TP anyway, and then I try to collect my coins. Like I just scrape together the coins that I need by some other means. Um, uh, we lost 8 VP to structures, but almost all of that was in round one, I think, and like round two, I guess, in the center. Here I got like 2 points of leech, or I got two 2 for 3s or 3 for 2s here, so I got -4 here, and then I got so that's like the primary leech that I received late in the game, and then this here, which didn't do me anything. So um, we only got 14 cult points, so that was like a huge reason why we lost. Darklings took it from us, so that's good for them. Um, this is pretty disappointing in terms of network. I was hoping for at least 12 points. Rough game. Looks like you should have won. I agree. I think that like if you're building like a stronghold as nomads, and if you're like advanced digs halflings in the final round and it's dwelling scoring, then I think that you probably need to like consider a little harder like where you need to block and what's actually the most key hex, right? But I mean, I think that you played a great game anyway. I think that like Darklings, what I missed most, I think, was that Darklings were going to upgrade D6 in round one instead of E3. I'm so used to seeing E3 being the hex that gets upgraded, but because of the unique situation on this color matchup, they upgraded here, and then I was basically shut out of like neighbors and leech for a lot of the game. Um, so yeah, maybe I also needed to contest the bridge harder. Like instead of going for this, I probably should have advanced ship. Like the answer is I should have advanced ship when I didn't, and I lost the cults, which I guess I knew was going to happen against Orin, but I didn't expect to win 0 cults. Um, over here, let's see how we fared here. Like we hit the track okay. Everyone hit the track okay. We got the most favored tile points, which we did kind of expect and want. Um, we did okay on passing. We got 2 good towns, so that's enough. Yeah, I agree. Just by digging F3, I mean, digging F3 at any point would have been enough, right? Like Orin were only at 2 ship by the end of round 6, so like they didn't even advance ship as one of their first actions. Like they decided to go ahead and like get the bridge and make this town. So I feel like there was a lot of time for F3 to get dug, because I know that it was like more than halfway through the round, and I was still saying like, there's still F3, there's still F3, but yeah, obviously you didn't wind up digging it, and like a lot of the time blocking is wrong anyway, right? Like you still did very well here with 150 points, and you're only 2 points off from winning. So I mean, that's like there's definitely something to be said for that. I liked the like. In fact, you put the pressure on. Like here's where I thought that it should have been, right? You put a priest to water, and then Orin responded by closing the water cult. That was like halfway through the round. That's the point where I think that you should have dug F3. Just, how I saw it. But, oh well. I take a third, fourth place, which is, I feel like this is clearly an unprecedented run for me in Terra Mystica Tuesday League. I don't know, like I haven't been playing much. I'm unable to get arena games these days, and I just don't like play as much live. So, yeah, I'll just have to go back to the drawing board. Sorry to anyone who watched this hoping for a better performance by me. I'll just have to see. Like, I think that I'm losing a lot of these games, like just during round one, possibly during like in a way that like isn't that unpredictable. Like, Darkling's taking this should not be that unpredictable. So in other words, like I just lost this because I just completely misevaluated these factions like from the jump. So I just need to be better about auctioning, I think, and hopefully we can put up better games in the future. And yeah, that's where I'm at. So Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for chatting. Hopefully we'll put up a better show in the future, and I'll see y'all next time.